Caribbean Beach Resort is one of Disney World's most polarising hotels, but undeniably beautiful, capturing all the charm of a tropical escape, all under the soothing glide of the famous Disney Skyliner. But with a sprawling 200-acre layout, walks to the lobby can feel like a mini morning commute, one of the few compromises worth considering before you book. Hi, I'm the Frugal Brit, and in this video I'll provide an in-depth tour and honest review of Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. We'll be exploring all dining options, comparing the villages, transportation tips, covering where the resort shines and where it might leave you a bit frustrated. Without further ado, let's dive in. For this tour, we're headed for the middle of the Walt Disney World map for the Epcot Resort area, which is a collection of Disney hotel resorts that border the waterways and Skyliner between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Caribbean Beach is a moderate resort in the middle of Disney World's pricing category. It's themed around the vibrant islands of the Caribbean, the entranceway flanked by palms and pastel tones. Just past the porte cochere, a breezy walkway leads you toward the expansive lobby with wood floors, colonial-style details and light streaming from tall windows, themed ceiling fans shaped like palm leaves adding to the island vibe. Just off the lobby is the Calypso Trading Post, the resort's main gift shop, which offers a well-organised mix of resort-branded apparel, magic bands, practical essentials, snacks, and themed merch sections. Before we head outside, it feels like a good time to explain the resort's layout. The entrance and lobby that we've just covered is located in Old Port Royal, which is the resort's central hub. It contains the main dining options, lobby, and the main pool complex. Surrounding Old Port Royal, the 200-acre resort is divided into 5 themed villages, which contain all the rooms. These are Jamaica, Aruba, Martinique, Barbados, and Trinidad. You've also got the small island of Caribbean Cay, which sits right in the middle of Barefoot Bay, the resort's central lagoon. To the east of the map, you've also got the Riviera Resort, which is so close it almost feels like it's built within Caribbean Beach. So heading back to the lobby in Old Port Royal, we'll venture outside the lobby doors. Turning left, we'll pass a ping pong table and a few seating areas. Following along the walkway, we'll pass the pool as well as the dining locations, which we'll be returning to later. Then toward the boardwalk along Barefoot Bay for our first clear view across the water towards the Aruba village, with the Skyliner gondolas moving overhead. Just to the right is the marina, marked by a small lighthouse and docked boats, and a giant chessboard tucked along the path. Next, I'll take you on a tour of the dining options at Caribbean Beach. We'll start with Centertown Market in the heart of Old Port Royal. It's just off from the lobby, the resort's main quick service dining spot, themed to a Caribbean street market festival. It's counter service, so you'll order from the counter or mobile app and seat yourself. Predictably, the menu mixes American classics with Caribbean-inspired cuisine. At breakfast, you'll find favourites like the Mickey Waffle Platter. There's also unique items like the avocado toast. For lunch and dinner, Centertown Market offers everything from burgers and pizza, but fans gravitate towards the island specialities. Signature items include the jerk chicken bowl, the hot Cuban sandwich, and the swashbuckle burger. Once you've ordered, food is picked up at one of the counters with a separate window for specialty coffee orders. You'll also notice the refillable resort mug system. Guests can purchase a special mug which provides unlimited Coke Freestyle machine drinks as well as tea and coffee at the beverage station for the length of their stay. Off to the side, grab-and-go section offers cold drinks, snacks and pastries. Seating includes a large central area and a quieter side room with views towards the water. Next, we'll head back outside in Old Port Royal next to the pool for Banana Cabana, which is the pool bar housed beneath a large cabana-style pavilion inspired by Caribbean beach bars. With repurposed steel drums overhead, you may catch some live music during the early evening hours. The cocktail menu is loaded with fruity island-style drinks, like the signature Banana Cabana cocktail and the pink guava colada. Signature dishes include the grilled jerk chicken wings, some saying the best wings on property. We've also got the Caribbean-loaded fries and the Banana Cabana burger. Now for the main restaurant. Next door to Banana Cabana on the edge of Barefoot Bay is the Sebastian's Bistro table service restaurant, where advanced reservations are recommended due to its popularity. Inside, the dining room is bright and airy with large windows, coastal decor, more of a relaxed Caribbean island vibe rather than Little Mermaid theming. Sebastian's Bistro only serves dinner, with its family-style prefix taste of the Caribbean dinner, or you can care-to-eat style platters for a set price. The meal starts with house-baked pull-apart rolls and Sebastian's spice necklace salad. The main platter features an array of Caribbean-inspired proteins, slow-cooked mojo pork with mojo sauce, grilled flank steak with chimichurri, oven-roasted citrus chili chicken, and a fish dish. These come with sides like cilantro lime rice, plantains, and roasted mixed vegetables. The dinner finishes with a signature dessert, the pineapple coconut bread pudding, served warm with caramel sauce and vanilla ice cream. One of Disney World's most popular desserts, which you can pick up at Banana Cabana. For our remaining dining spot, we'll head west toward the Trinidad Village. Right in its centre, you'll find Spyglass Grill, a small shack-style eatery painted in bright island colours with walk-up windows and covered patio seating. It basically exists to give the Trinidad Village guests food without having to walk far. The lunch and dinner menu has a lot of overlaps with Centertown Market, the Mojo pork tacos getting the most recommendations. Next, we'll head back to the Old Port Royale opposite Banana Cabana for the resort's signature pool area, known as Fuentes del Morro, a Spanish fortress-themed feature pool that feels like a natural centrepiece to the resort, framed by weathered stone towers and turrets that give the impression of an old Caribbean stronghold, looking extra special at night. There's 2 water slides, one on either side of the main structure, both integrated tightly into the design of the fortress. The first one, a more open slide, winds through the ruins before sending riders into the pool at a gentle speed. The other slide is a bit more enclosed, starting at a higher elevation from a tunnel, and curls down in near darkness before twisting midway, then sending you out into the pool. Tucked off to the side, you've also got the kids' splash area, themed to a stranded pirate ship with a tipping bucket that drenches everything below. Lastly, if you're able to visit late at night, the pool deck provides views across Epcot's nightly fireworks, visible just beyond the palm trees and Skyliner gondolas. With everything covered in Old Port Royale, next we'll do a tour of the resort's 5 different villages, all of which contain colourful 2-storey guest buildings with their own quiet pools for those that don't fancy the trek over to the main pool. Each village also has its own bus stop for the parks. We're going to start on the other side of the water, which you access via the Caribbean Cay, a small leafy island that sits right in the middle of Barefoot Bay. You'll reach it via a wooden bridge just past the marina, marked by a carved sign and flanked by thick greenery. Through the arch, you're surrounded by winding paths with dense tropical landscaping. The walkway weaves through pockets of shade and leads to a series of simple wooden structures, some with benches and others offering shelter or lookout points over the lake. Along the paths, you'll spot hammocks set in a sandy cove. There's also a small playground here, shaded by a sail canopy, well equipped for the little ones. In the evening, the island plays host to the resort's movies Under the Stars, with large projection screens set up beside the trees. Crossing Caribbean Cay's second bridge, you'll reach the Jamaica Village, with its buildings painted a sunny yellow. Its location is highly valued, a short walk to Old Port Royale and the closest village to the Skyliner's main hub station at Caribbean Beach. This would be a good time to explain how the Skyliner works at this resort. For those that don't know, the Skyliner is Disney's aerial gondola system connecting several resorts with Epcot and Hollywood Studios. The central station for the entire Skyliner network is located right at Caribbean Beach, just next to the Jamaica Village. From here, you can board a gondola and be whisked directly to Hollywood Studios in about 5 minutes, making this one of the quickest and most scenic ways to reach the parks. If you're heading to Epcot, the route takes a different direction from another side of the station. Early in the journey, you'll stop briefly at the neighbouring Riviera Resort station before continuing on a slightly longer route, with a total travel time of around 12 minutes from Caribbean Beach to Epcot's International Gateway entrance. It's a perfect way to get around these parks, although staying in Jamaica and Aruba means you'll hear the gentle hum and visual of the gondolas gliding overhead, which is not to everyone's fancy, although I kind of feel like it adds to the charm. Just east of Jamaica, you'll find the Aruba Village, over in the far northeast corner, with pastel pink and lavender toned colour scheme. It's the second furthest village from Old Port Royale, but very appealing due to its closeness to Disney's Riviera Resort, which is why it's my personal favourite village to stay in. Some buildings near the top sit just minutes away from the Riviera Skyliner station, which, as mentioned, provides a direct route over to Epcot. Aruba is definitely the best village if you want quick access to Epcot. You're also steps away from the dining options at Riviera, like Primo Piatto, Topolino Terrace with its character breakfast, as well as Le Petit Café, a fantastic coffee bar with surprisingly short waits, even at peak hours. As an extra convenience, guests in Aruba can also use Riviera's bus stop, which usually means a quicker ride with fewer passengers. On the flip side, Aruba's buildings closest to Riviera are further from Caribbean Beach's main Skyliner hub, meaning a longer walk for direct Hollywood Studios access, although depending on where your room is, I'd recommend just transferring from the Riviera station. Next, heading across Barefoot Bay to the south side of the resort, you'll reach Martinique. Painted in sky blue tones and coral-coloured roofs, it's the closest village to Old Port Royale and the key amenities, the main pool, as well as recreational activities like bike rentals and volleyball. Given the prime proximity, Buildings 24 to 26 fall into the resort's preferred category, requiring an upcharge. Martinique is also close to the Riviera Resort and its dining options. When it comes to the buses, Martinique has the advantage of being among the earliest bus pickups, making it easier to find seats when heading out. However, Martinique's location isn't ideal for Skyliner access, as it's relatively far from both the Caribbean Beach and the Riviera stations. The arrival of the Skyliner did sort of devalue the Martinique side slightly. To the west of Old Port Royal, across the water from Jamaica, we have the Barbados village, with the exteriors painted in coral pink. Its location strikes a nice balance as being close enough for a 5-minute walk to Old Port Royal's amenities, yet far enough away to feel calm and quiet. Similar to Martinique, Barbados offers some preferred category rooms. Unlike the villages on the other side of the bay, you won't hear gondolas moving overhead, making it better for those seeking more peace and quiet. The trade-off though is obviously that you're further away from both Skyliner stations, requiring about a 10-minute walk or slightly longer depending on the building. Additionally, you're not close to the Riviera amenities. Finally, we'll journey west, crossing the road past Barbados, arriving at Trinidad on the far end of the resort, with deep coral buildings and rustic red roofs. It's the furthest from Old Port Royal, which will be a big negative to most people. Average walk per building is around 12 to 15 minutes, which is far from ideal. You're also furthest away from the Riviera, but Trinidad does have by far the most relaxed and peaceful atmosphere. Skyliner access varies. For the buildings near the top, it's actually not too bad. Otherwise, expect a 10-minute walk. Whilst it's the most secluded as covered, Trinidad is home to the Spyglass Grill quick service restaurant, which is a bit of a fan favourite. The resort features over 1,500 guest rooms, all of which are accessed via exterior corridors in 2-storey buildings with no elevators, so be sure to flag any mobility needs with cast members. The standard rooms feature a very subtle island theme, with warm wood tones and rattan-style textures. The 2 queens sit against the soft blue wall with carved headboards, framed by backlit sconces. Between the 2 beds is a bedside table with AC outlet and USB ports, and the Disney Magical Companion. The beds are platformed, raised off the floor for luggage storage. Towards the door and window, the round table and chairs provide a useful space for snacks and planning the day. The storage unit sits beneath the TV, with multiple drawers built in, one of which houses the mini fridge. And above this is the coffee maker with pods, creamers and teas, etc. The 5th sleeper bed folds out from the unit, revealing Mickey and Pluto. When not in use, it serves as a cushioned bench flanked by drawers and power outlets. Worth noting that not all rooms at Caribbean Beach offer this 5th sleeper unit. I understand these are limited to Aruba, where I stayed, as well as in Trinidad. You've got a sliding privacy door that reveals the split bathroom with double vanity, illuminated mirror over granite countertops. Behind a second door is the toilet and shower tub combo with toiletries from wall-mounted dispensers. Next to the vanity is an open closet with hangers, ironing board and safe. Moving on to the under-the-sea rooms, these are located in the Trinidad section, replacing the former pirate-themed rooms. They offer a cleaner, brighter aesthetic with subtle Little Mermaid theming throughout. These also have the 5th sleeper unit. Now that we've explored every corner of the resort, I'll give my thoughts on the pros and cons to help you decide if it's right for your trip. Let's start with the atmosphere, which is definitely one of the best things about staying here. Things are a lot more spread out compared to most resorts, which makes things a lot more relaxing. But this tranquility does come with a trade-off, which is the sprawling size. Caribbean Beach is huge, spanning 200 acres, making it one of Disney's largest hotel resorts. While this means there's always a peaceful corner to explore, it also translates to a lot of long walks. As we've covered in the village comparison, you could face a 10 to 15 minute trek just to reach the lobby. If you prefer hotels where everything is under one roof, you'll probably find this setup frustrating. That said, the size does allow each area to feel quiet and uncrowded, even at peak occupancy. The food impresses at Caribbean Beach. Centretown Market offers some great options, but the lines to order can be quite lengthy during peaks, so you'll want to make use of mobile ordering to skip these. Sebastian's Bistro stands out not only within the resort, but across Disney World itself, offering incredible value for its quality and quantity. Being able to stroll over to Disney's Riviera for even more options feels like getting 2 resorts for the price of one, especially if you're staying in Aruba. The main pool, Fuentes del Morro, ranks among the very best at Walt Disney World, including the deluxe resorts, certainly in terms of theming. The rooms are where things get slightly less impressive, though pleasant enough with subtle island touches. These rooms do lag behind similarly priced Universal hotels and even other Disney moderates. They're externally accessed, can feel a bit dark, and use the older style wall-mounted air conditioners. The bathrooms are very cramped and overall just aren't a selling point for this resort. One major selling point, however, is the Skyliner, which I would argue is Disney World's best form of transportation, and something you'd expect to be reserved for a deluxe resort. This is an invaluable perk for park hopping or taking midday breaks. Just be aware though, if Florida's notorious storms roll in, the Skyliner shuts down temporarily and the backup bus service often struggles to pick up the slack. The buses here, even at the best of times, aren't ideal. With multiple internal stops, journeys can be long, crowded and inefficient, especially frustrating if you're headed to Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom frequently. If that's the case, I'd consider paying the extra to use rideshare services, which can conveniently pick you up outside your building, not just from the main lobby. Finally, for guests arriving by car, the resort earns bonus points for convenience. You can park directly outside your room, making unloading and getting around easy. So the bottom line for me is that Caribbean Beach is perfect for guests that value atmosphere and the Skyliner experience over convenience and luxury. If you can tolerate the sprawling size and are willing to strategize around the transportation issues, the positives outweigh the negatives. Well, that's everything. Thanks for watching. If you've stayed here before, I'd love to hear your experiences or tips in the comments. For more honest reviews and guides around Disney World and Orlando, be sure to check out the rest of the channel. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe for future guides.